You know what's wild? Most people think trauma is just what happens when something big happens, like an accident, abuse, loss, or violence. But the truth is, trauma isn't just the event itself. It's what happens inside you as a result of what happened. It's the invisible bruise left behind when your body had to survive something your mind couldn't fully process. And here's the tricky part. Sometimes you don't even realize you're still living in survival mode. You call it just how I am. You normalize the tension, the guilt, the exhaustion. But today, I want to pull back the curtain on that. Because what if the things you've been calling personality traits, like the overthinking, the people-pleasing, the constant need to control, aren't who you are, but who you had to become to feel safe? So let's talk about the 10 subtle signs of trauma you didn't know were signs. By the end, you'll understand yourself and your patterns in a way that feels both confronting and healing. Let's start. Number 1, you can't fully relax, even when nothing's wrong. You know that feeling when you're sitting on the couch, lights low, TV on, and yet something inside you just won't settle. Your body's tired, but your brain's still scanning for something. Danger, mistake, disappointment. It's like your nervous system refuses to take a day off. That's called hypervigilance, and it's one of the clearest signs of unresolved trauma. It's your body saying, I've learned that danger comes without warning, so I'll stay ready just in case. You might not even realize how exhausting it is, because it's become your normal. But when calm feels suspicious and silence feels heavy, that's your past whispering that peace isn't safe. Ask yourself right now, when was the last time you felt completely safe doing nothing? If you can't remember, that's not your fault. It's just your nervous system still waiting for the all clear. Healing starts when you teach your body that safety doesn't mean you're missing something. It means you've finally arrived. If this sounds like you, type, I'm learning to rest in the comments. Let's see how many of us are on this same journey. Number 2, you overthink everything you say or do. You ever replay conversations in your head hours or even days later, wondering if you said too much or too little? You read between lines that probably aren't even there. That's not just anxiety. It's your brain trying to prevent rejection. People who've lived through emotional unpredictability or criticism learned early that being misunderstood could cost them love, peace, or connection. So now, you pre-edit your truth before you speak it. You hold back. You analyze. It feels safer that way, but also keeps you trapped. Overthinking is the mind's way of begging for control when the heart still remembers chaos. You can't think your way into safety. You feel your way into it slowly, gently, one self-trust at a time. If you know you're an overthinker trying to heal, drop a heart emoji in the comments so others know they're not. You might laugh it off, make jokes about what hurt you, or pretend it didn't affect you. But your body always keeps score through fatigue, tension, migraines, emotional burnout. So let me ask you this. If your best friend lived through what you did, would you tell them to get over it? Of course not. So why keep saying that to yourself? Acknowledging pain doesn't make you weak. It's how you stop reliving it. If this hit home, write, I deserve to heal in the comments. Number 4, you apologize for everything. Sorry. It's your automatic response, even when someone bumps into you. You say sorry for asking questions, for taking too long to reply, for being tired, for needing space. That's not courtesy. That's conditioning. If you grew up walking on eggshells, you learn that peace depends on your ability to stay small. You learn that if you're perfect, quiet, accommodating, maybe no one will get mad. But here's what's powerful. You can't heal by apologizing for existing. Next time you catch yourself saying sorry, try this. Replace sorry I'm late with thank you for waiting. Replace sorry for asking with thank you for explaining. You're not reducing your light. You're reclaiming your worth. If you're ready to stop apologizing for existing, comment no more sorry. Number 5, you can't accept good things without doubt. When something good happens, your first thought isn't joy. It's suspicion. You wait for the catch. When someone loves you deeply, part of you wonders if they'll change their mind. When an opportunity comes, you learn that happiness doesn't last. So you brace for disappointment instead of enjoying what's here. What if your fear of losing good things is the very thing keeping you from having them? Healing means learning to receive without preparing to mourn. It means reminding yourself, this moment is safe. I deserve this peace. If you relate, comment, I deserve the good things too. Number 6, you stay in one-sided relationships. You give more than you get. You explain yourself over and over to people who never listen. You stay loyal to those who drain you, because leaving feels wrong, even when staying hurts. That's trauma bonding. It's what happens when your nervous system equates love with inconsistency. If chaos was what affection looked like growing up, then calm feels suspicious. So you chase the people who make you work for love, because working for it feels familiar. Ask yourself this: am I attracted to love or to the feeling of having to earn it? Because once you stop mistaking effort for worth, your standards change. And suddenly, peace feels like home, not boredom. If you've ever stayed in something one-sided, type never again in the comments. Number 7, you need to be in control. You plan, prepare, anticipate. You struggle with spontaneity because it feels unsafe not to know what's next. That's not just being organized. That's what happens when unpredictability used to hurt you. Control becomes your security blanket. But here's the paradox. The more you try to control life, number 8, you feel emotionally numb or disconnected. You don't feel much, good or bad. You're not happy, but you're not sad either. You just exist. That's emotional shutdown, and it's one of the body's smartest defense systems. When you felt too much for too long, your brain turns down the volume to protect you. But numbness isn't peace. It's pause pain. And the moment you feel safe again, that flood of emotion you've been avoiding finally comes rushing back. So if you've been feeling nothing, that doesn't mean you're broken. It means your body's still whispering, you're not ready yet. Be patient. Healing doesn't rush you. It waits until you're safe to feel again. If you've been numb but want to feel again, type, I'm ready to feel. Number 9, you can't rest without feeling guilty. You try to rest, but your mind keeps racing. You tell yourself you'll relax after you finish this or that, but after never comes. That's trauma disguised as productivity. When rest was never an option, your worth became tied to what you could do, not who you are. You learn to equate stillness with laziness and burnout with achievement. Ask yourself, do I work to feel accomplished or to avoid feeling anxious? Because when your value depends on output, peace will always feel undeserved. You don't have to earn rest. You just have to allow it. If you needed that reminder, comment rest is healing. Number 10, you don't know who you really are. You've spent so long adapting, reading rooms, but you can't heal if you keep abandoning yourself to stay accepted. Here's the truth. You are not who your trauma turned you into. You are who you were before you had to survive. And the moment you start living for that version of you, everything begins to make sense. If you're ready to find yourself again, comment this time, it's me. If you recognize yourself in these signs, take a breath. That's not a sign you're broken. It's proof you're aware. And awareness is the beginning of freedom. The fact that you're listening to this means the cycle's already shifting. You're starting to question patterns that once felt permanent. You're learning that boundaries aren't rejection. They're protection. You're realizing that healing doesn't mean forgetting. It means finally feeling safe enough to remember without reliving. So here's my invitation. Stop calling yourself too sensitive. You're deeply attuned. Stop calling yourself needy. You're hungry for connection. Stop calling yourself broken. You're healing in real time. You've already done the hardest part, surviving. Now it's time to live. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell. I will see you in the next video.